Hi everyone, I'm Nisha. Welcome back. Here, this is the part 1 of Structures and Pointers series. So, through this session, we'll see what is structure, why to learn it, and why it is so useful. But before that, just we can revise the basic part of C++. So, let us start. So, okay. So, if you want to store any data in a computer through C++ program, we want to know what type of data we are going to store in it, how much space we need in a memory area. So for all this purpose, we are using data types. Okay, data types, from the word itself you will get the meaning. Data types means what type of data it is. So when we are specifying the data types, automatically the size, memory allocation will give you the size for that. Is it? Yeah. So here there are some data type, fundamental data types, that is int for integers, char for characters, float for decimal values, and double and short are some modifiers of these. Okay. Now how we can store a value? So normally if you are using some values, means we want to use a variable. Is it? So variable means it's a memory allocation or memory allocation area. We are giving a name for that memory area, that is variable. So how we can create a variable? For creating a variable, we need to follow some rules. So first we want to specify what type of data we are going to store in that variable. So if it is an integer one, int space, then the name of the variable, then put semicolon. If it's a character one, char space, then the variable name semicolon. Okay, so I gave you some examples here. Int space ADMNO is equal to 1000. So ADMNO is the variable here. 1000 is the value I want to assign in ADMNO, and it is an integer data type. See, and if you want to store a character, char data type, ch is the variable I used here, equal to sign, then the letter. Through char, we can assign only one letter. That also we want to put it in the single quotes. This is the way of storing. Okay, then float mark. Float mark means mark is the variable name here, float is the data type, and float here we used for decimal values 100.00. Okay, so these are the fundamental data types here, and this is the way of assigning. But what is input? Input means I don't want to assign any value inside the program. The user want to give the values at the execution time. So how they can enter? We want to use cin statement. Cin is the word using for that. And the format is cin, then the redirection symbol, and ADMNO is the variable name. So at the running time, at the using time, the user can enter the value. That value will assign to ADMNO. Same like for character CNCH. So CH will store the value what the user entered. Then CN mark. Okay, this is a way of input. Input means the user can enter any value at the running time. So the second data type is derived data type. Derived means from the fundamental we can create a new one, that is deriving. Okay, we can derive from the fundamental data types. So that is known as array. But here in array, why we are using this means we can store multiple datas under a single name. For example, in computer science class, 38 students are there. I want to store their admission number in a variable. Is it possible to store 38 students admission number in one variable? It is not possible, because in one variable only one value can assign. If we are storing the second one, automatically the first will overwrite. So how we can store it? 38 students. So I want to declare 38 variables for that. But it's difficult, is it? So we can use a name. ADMNO is the name I preferred for that. And I want to store 38 student means I can specify the size of that cell. 38. That is known as array. But here in array, how much cells you needed, that we want to put it in the square bracket, and at the same time all these datas are in the same data type. If you are using integer means only integer values you can store in it. If you are using character means only character values we can store in it. Okay, so here I put some examples. Int a of 10, a of 10, a I put it in square bracket, 10 is the size here. This means int is the data type, a is the array name, and in square bracket 10 means 10 cells the compiler will give you for the statement. Okay, and how the structure of the array now? A of 0 is the first cell name. Is it? A of 1 is the second cell name. A of 2 is the third cell name. Like that, it will go on till A of 9 is the last cell. This is the way of declaration. Okay, this is integer array. Only integer value can assign. So 1000 will assign to A of 0th position and 2000 will assign to A of 1 respectively. Okay, then character ch of 10 is equal to Anand. I put it in double quotes. In the previous example, I put single quotes. Single quotes is for one letter. If we are using multiple characters, we can put double quotes. So ch is the array here, 10 is the size, that means ch of 0 to ch of 9 cells you can use. That is the name of the cells now. So A, the first letter of A will move to ch of 0, N will move to A of ch of 1 cell, like that it will. And the next is float mark of 10. Float is the data type, mark is the array name. 10 cells will create it. The first cell is M of 0, mark of 0. Then the last cell will be mark of 9. So 90.00 will assign to mark of 0th position and it will go on according to the given value. And in input means at the running time. Okay, see in only the statement, but we want to specify the array name with index number. We call it as index number. Inside the square bracket we want to specify the number there. Number means that box arrays index number, position number. A of 0, that is A of 0. See, in A of 0 means first position, 0th position. Okay, C in getLine bracket ch comma 10, because here if we want to store Anand, we can use C in redirection and ch is enough. But if you want to store the string with space, it is not possible. Is it? This and all we already studied. So we will use cin.getLine function. I need space also because I want to put some the initials. So I need to use cin.getLine bracket ch is the array name, comma 10 is the maximum size, bracket close, semicolon. Then same style, cin mark of 0. Mark of 0 means first student's mark will assign to 0th cell. Okay, so in mark 1, 2, 3 like that we want to specify the index number. So this is the review I am giving for the C++ here, because the first chapter of +2 is the continuation of the data type. Okay, so the first chapter of our C++ is and pointers. So this chapter is divided into two parts. The first part is structures and the second part is pointers. Okay, now we can move on to the structures part. Why structure? So here I put one ID card, employee ID card, same like your ID card. So here the details are name, surname, designation, and employee code, date of join. These are the details stored in the employee card. So these details we want to store it in the computer. What we will do? So we can use variables or arrays, is it? So if you are using array, character name of 20 size I need for the name, then character code, employee code, some letters are there. So character is compulsory. So character code 10 size I put. Then character code designation, it's also a character type. So 10 size I put. Then date of join, date of the date data type is not there. So we want to use for integer for the date. Then for month it's also an integer. Then year also integer. So dd I put a variable for date. Then for the month and yy for the year. Is it? So if you're using this type of variables or arrays, the compiler will create cells in RAM randomly. It is not in the continuous cells. It is not in sequence way. Anywhere it will create. Is it? Yeah. Name, one cells may be in the 1000 location. Code may be in the 2000 location. Designing may be in the 3000 location. Like that it will create it. Randomly it will create it. But just think, if you are getting all the details in one block and we can give a one name, means it is good, no? So that is the use of structure. Okay, through structure we can create one block for multiple datas. Name, code, designation, dd, yy, all this together we can put it in one block. This is structure. Okay, now we can move what is structure, what is the definition, and what is the syntax of structure. The structures. What is structure? It is a user-defined data type of C++. So here we already studied fundamental data types, derived data types, then the new one, that is user-defined data types. Means what? The user can define any name for the data type. That is user-defined data types. Okay, and what is the speciality of the structure? That is in second point. It's a collection of different data types grouped together under a single name. What is the meaning? Collection of different data types. Different data types. Integer, character, float, all this together we can group it and we can give a single name for that. That is the speciality of structure. Okay, see the syntax here. Struct is the keyword using for creating the structure. Struct space structure name. Structure name, or you can see in some other books structure tag. Okay, so that space is for giving the name of the structure. That is user defined data type. Okay, then the collection of data types we want to put it in the brace open and close, in between brace open and close. So here brace open is there, data type space variable name 1, data type space variable name 2, etc, 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 data type space variable name n semicolon, then last brace close and put semicolon, then only the structure definition will end. Okay, so here struct is the keyword using for this creation, then structure name is the user defined name for the data type, and the collection of data types we can give in the block. So this is the syntax of structure creation. Okay, now I gave one example in that orange color box. See, struct student, brace open, int admission number, character name of 20 size, float mark, brace close, semicolon. Means here student is the data type we created. I prefer student as the data type. You can define any name for that. Okay, and for student data type I need 3 blocks, 3 columns. Okay, so what are the columns? First block shows integer and its name is admission number, and the second block name is name. Okay, and it's an array, character array. And the third column is mark, the float data type. So we'll get all together under student name. Understood now? Okay, so data type creation is done here. Structure is the user defined data type. See how easy it is? So now we can move how we can create a structure variable. With simply student, we can't use for anything. Is it? We can't store anything in that structure, student data type. We won't store any value in a data type. We need a variable for that. Is it? So student is the data type there. So how we can assign a values, how we can initialize a values, how we can input values, we need variables for that. Then only we can use it. So what is the statement for creating a structure variable? See the syntax. Data type space variable name semicolon. Same syntax. Is it? Int space a. How we studied earlier? Same style only. The syntax is same for variable creation. Structure name space variable name here. So here the data type is what? The defined data. The user defined name is the structure name. Data type here. So structure name space variable name is the syntax here. So one more method is there. Struct keyword also you can use with that. Struct space, structure name space, variable name semicolon. Two methods. Okay. Then example. See the example. Student is the data type. Space S1 is the variable name. Or struct is the keyword with student space S1. So in both way we can declare a variable for a student data type. Understood? And see the box here. This is the another method of declaring S1 variables. Struct student, brace open, in admission number, character name of 20 size, float mark, then brace close. Before putting semicolon, write the variable name. This way also we can declare variables. Okay, when you declare this and at the compiling time automatically how much size we will get for this S1. See the bytes used for S1 is 4 bytes for admission number because it is an integer one and 20 bytes for name. Is it? Then plus 4 bytes for the mark because it is float. So altogether 28 bytes contiguously we'll get for S1. Understood now? Okay. Now, okay. See the memory allocation of S1. So S1 is the name for this big block and admission number is the first column name. Name is the second column name. Mark is the third column name. And see the bytes for admission number 4 bytes. Okay. Then for name 20 bytes. Okay. Then for mark 4 bytes. So here the base address, the memory allocation address of S1 is 1001. So 4 bytes will take for admission number. Is it? So 1001 to 1004 allocated for admission number. Then 1005 to 20 bytes means 1000 till 1024 the name for the name it will occupy. Okay, then for mark 1025 to 26, 27, 28 4 bytes for marks. So in under S1 this much area will get in RAM. So total 28 bytes will get. Understood now? This is the way of memory creation through structure variable. Okay. So how to initialize values to a structure variable? So here collection of values are there because so many boxes are there, columns are there. So we want to put brace open and close. So for initialization means what? At the declaration time itself, we can set the first value, that is initialization. So here student is the data type, S1 is the variable name, equal to brace open, then 3452 that is the admission number, Vaishak I put it in double quotes that is string, character array, So then Vaishak will assign to name, then 270.00, it's a float value for mark. See how it is assigned in S1 block. ADMNO, name and mark are the column names, and that each value will stored in each columns. In admission number 3452, and in name column Vaishak, and in mark column 270.00. Understood? Okay. Now there are some tips. Okay. There are some important point. See, struct student int admission number is equal to 100, character name of 20 is equal to Vishnu, float mark is equal to 100, then brace close st semicolon. Is it possible to initialize in this way? Is it correct or wrong? It is wrong, because struct student is creating the physical structure. Physical structure means it's a data type. We are creating a data type there. We are defining a data type. How much space you needed and what are the data types of each columns for that block, etc. Not for the values. Values we will assign only through variables. So the structure variable is what? ST is the structure variable here, not ADMN or name or mark. Inside in the syntax we put data type space variable name, but that is the column name given for that particular block. Okay, so through student we are creating only a data type, means how much space you needed and what are the data types of each columns. That is the structure definition. So we can initialize the values only through the variables, that is st. In the later slide we studied that how to initialize it. Okay, so this is wrong, and the correct method is first define the structure and the st declaration type we can initialize it. Okay, understood? Okay. Now how to access the values. So here in variables, when you're using variables, cin is the statement. So cin redirection is the input operator and the variable name semicolon. If it's an array, cin, array name and the square bracket, index number, semicolon. This is the way of inputting details, is it? But when you're using a structure, how we can access the values? We want to use dot operator for that. So dot is the connector between structure variable and its element. Okay. So the syntax is structure variable dot element name. Element name means the name of that column. Okay. If it's an admission number, S1 dot admission number. If it's name, S1 dot name. If it's mark, S1 dot mark. Okay. Then how to access it? How to input? What is the syntax of inputting here for the structure variable? Cin structure variable dot s1 dot admission number semicolon. We are using getLine, cin dot getLine bracket s1 dot name. We are simply putting name means the compiler will search for the individual variable name is there or not. No, it is inside the S1 block. Okay, so S1 dot name, comma 20 size. Then S1 dot mark is equal to direct assigning, and we can put S1 dot mark is equal to 270. And just display all these details. See out S1 dot admission number, see out S1 dot name, then S1 dot mark. Okay, this is the way of accessing and retrieving the values of structure variable. Understood? I hope you all enjoyed the session. See you in the next session. Bye. Take care. Thank you all.